Well, hello and welcome to Cozy Couch Corner for another episode of Tea and Tarot. Cheers. Perfect temperature. Maybe slightly on the hot side, but not bad for having half the morning in my flask. Make one big pot in the morning, drink half of it and stick the rest in my flask. Keeps it warm and I don't have to keep... I was reheating it in the microwave and there wasn't any point in that, but I only use one tea bag to a litre of water, so I don't have it very strong. I get that way. I don't use two tea bags. It's nice today. It's not too windy. It's sunny. There's blue sky, which we haven't seen much of lately. There's birds, and I've seen the magpie. I think they've got a nest in the first tree after the bottom of the garden. So at the beginning of the field, this end of the field behind. But it's really well camouflaged because even in the depths of winter I couldn't see it, but they are always sat on it. There was three magpies. There was two. They're black and white crows type birds, corvids, and there was three. It looked like two adults and a child. And one day I saw them on the telegraph wire, and there was four of them. So it looks like the young one had paired up. I don't know, but that's the first time I've seen four of them, and there was two big ones and two smaller ones. So that's my guess. I like to see the birds. I like to see the sheep. The sheep are all in the field still, which is really nice. They haven't been headbutting each other while I've been looking at them today. They remind me of some politicians, I tell you. Just headbutting each other for no particular reason. Oh, right. Maybe that's how they should resolve wars. Stick a load of horned sheep in a field and see which one wins. I don't know. They don't seem to hurt each other though. They don't seem to have hurt each other. I don't know. I guess they're built for that. Although I still think wars should be resolved by making the leaders go and stand in a car park and fight it out between themselves and save all the civilians and the money and the weapons and just go and have a punch up in a car park. But that's me, innit? Right. Oh, settle down. Feel the energy. Okay, what good news do you have for us for Thursday, the 19th of March, 2026, please? Oh, I just had this weird feeling just then as I looked at them that I got my pack round the wrong way. I wonder what that's got to do with it. It felt like it was the wrong way round. Well, that's a message. But it wasn't. It was the way round it's always been. But maybe the way it's always been is not the right way. Right. Ah! Okay. Do we want that card that's down there on my lap? Okay. Do you want any of the cards that are in my hand? Okay. Do we want this card that's on top of this? Right. I'm just going to lay that down. Ah! Well, that's escaped. Do you want any more cards that are in this hand that I'm wiggling? No. Right, got rid of that. Okay. I've got a card on the floor. Let me pick that up. Did I even show you the Four of Swords? Do you know what? No. Right. I'll do it, and I'm like, my brain's tuned in, and it's not. It's not all on my conscious mind, and yeah, whatever. Four of Swords, isn't it? Then we've got the 10 of Swords, and I'm putting them in the reverse order. I don't know why. Okay, do I want some of these? Do I want the top? Do I want the top one? No. Do I want these Do I want this one? Well, they've all come a weird way. Do I want it that way up? Do I want it reversed? Do I want it upright? Does it matter? No. Okay. 5 of Cups. Do I want any more cards? Do I want this card? That's the same one we had yesterday. And the one, oh no, it was on the bottom of the other pack was one of the other ones we had yesterday. And I mixed them all up. So, Knight of Cups. Right. This should, in theory, be this way, but it probably doesn't matter. Do I need any more cards? No. Right. And you had me put them out this way instead. So let's put that down there. And that one. No. Shuffle them along. Sometimes it doesn't matter what order I pick them in, because sometimes they're read in a different order. It's potluck. Okay, where do you want me to start? And I feel that you're highlighting this one. Okay, the Knight of Cups. So we had this, pretty sure we had this yesterday. Are we still talking about the tide receding? Yeah. Only I can see the tide receding. When you see me in shot, it's receding, but then I see it pulled right back. So there's more significant changes around us than we think there's going to be. We can imagine a certain amount of changes happening, and they're probably changes that we want to happen, to, I'm going to say, put things right, or to make things better for people in general. But the changes that are going to happen are going to be way beyond that. And they're going to improve everybody's life. So it's not just about us getting to our goals and achieving what we want to achieve and have the life that we want to live, but it's on a much wider scale, on a global scale. So that's sort of like overall circumstances, and we've been getting a lot of this through readings for at least this year, if not at the beginning of last year. I don't know when we started. Okay, we're done with that one apparently. When next? Four of Swords. Not looking at the world and being caught up in the fear. Not. One thing with anxiety we do is we tell stories in our mind about all the awful possibilities that could happen. Catastrophizing. And it's about shutting that door. It's like I could see a box and I could see the lid opening, and we go, no, shut the lid. So if you start to tell yourself stories about all the horrible things that could happen, and don't get me wrong, I know that horrible things are happening in a lot of different places, but we need to stay calm and focused. And if we give in to fear, if we start telling ourselves all the stories of all the things that could possibly go wrong, of all the disasters, of how the world's going to end up, because there's a lot of naysayers, there's a lot of people that would, I mean, it's bad, but painting it worse than it is, and painting it a lot worse. And I can get caught up in some of that, and I find myself caught up in some of that when they're trying to turn the country into a surveillance state. And they've already took a whole load of our data and all that kind of data surveillance and stuff. That gets me. War, probably because it's not that close at the moment. But there's various reasons why Britain could be a target. It's not giving in to the fear. It's not telling the negative stories. It's not it's not getting tied up in that. See the positives, see how things are changing, even though a lot of stuff's changing behind the scenes and we can't see a lot of stuff changing in reality. Things are changing, and it's finding those little nuggets that somebody stood up, somebody started a court case, a legal challenge, somebody stopped this happening, some other politician said this, a whole load of other countries' politicians did this. We know that the tide is turning. So I'm just trying to focus on the positives, not let fear get you, and not let the negative and catastrophizing stories, especially if you're prone to that, get you down, get you numb, get you immobile, or get you caught in rage. There is a definite place for anger, and anger as a fuel, and anger to motivate you to make positive change, either in your life or other people's. But if I can't think of the right word, and I mean, if fear is trapping you, I mean, in the card, fear is tied up. If fear is keeping you stuck, that's what I wanted to say. If fear is keeping you stuck, then deal with it. Sort it out. Stop telling yourself negative stuff. If that's you, stop telling yourself the negative stories. Look for the glimmers of hope. Look for the little positive things that are happening, because they are happening. Right. We don't need this card. That was the Five of Cups. We don't need it. Because that's pretty much what I said with the fear card, isn't it? That we're looking at the positives, not at the negatives. We're not telling ourselves the disaster stories. We're looking at the glimmers of hope, and we're telling ourselves the positive stories while still being realistic. We don't have to be all woo-woo fantasy land, but it's flipping flipping the switch in your head, really. Ten of Swords. Don't get pushed into grasping at straws. One of the things that has been done throughout history is to put people into fear, to tell people all the awful things, to get them really scared about something that is supposedly going to happen, but they can prevent it by doing this. And it's usually, or not always, some of it is agreeing to changes in law that completely strip your human rights. That's one of the things, but there's other things. They create a problem, and the same they creates a solution, which if you're in fear and you're not thinking rationally enough, and that's the thing with fear, it gets you the anxiety loop, it gets you away from your rational mind. It doesn't take it out completely, but it's not firing on all cylinders. It's damped down. Your rational brain is damped down if fear's in control. And people offer what seems a good solution, and you don't think it through. If the people that are causing a problem are offering the solution, then run. Run. And there's also the people that offer the bare minimum. I've got crumbs. If you're used to if you understand abuse relationships, just like domestic abuse. Breadcrumbing. There's something about breadcrumbing that makes you feel like, oh, this is wonderful. They're doing something, but they're doing the absolute, probably less than bare minimum. Critical thinking is key, and it's going to be key. It is now, and it's going to be going forward. Anybody offering you solutions to problems is using critical thinking and looking at the whole picture and not grasping at the first thing that's offered, or even anything that's offered. Like I said, if the people are causing the problem, they're the problem, there needs to be a solution to them, not the problem they've created. If they create a problem and offer you a solution to it, that's going to be most likely a manipulation to get people into a position where they're easier to oppress usually. But if they're causing a problem, that's what you need to deal with, not the problem that they've created necessarily. But it's this whole problems and solutions, and not grasping, in not being desperate. Don't be desperate. If you find yourself there, been there, go back, sort out the fear, go back, get calm, critical thinking, sort it out rationally. There we are then.